Okay, so now we'll look at the area of a circle. So here we use the formula pi r squared. Okay, so remember pi d is the circumference of a circle, pi r squared is the area of a circle. So here we have a circle, so let's say it has a 4 centimeter radius. Okay, from the center out to the circle is 4 centimeters. Okay, so always write the formula. Examiners want to see this. So pi r squared is what we need. Now, as with the circumference, they will give you a value for pi. So for our purposes, let's call it 3.1. Sometimes you'll use the value of the calculator. Sometimes they'll make it 3.142. But for simplicity's sake, let's go with 3.1. So pi r squared, so that's pi multiplied by r squared. Okay, so that's 3.1 multiplied by the radius squared. Now the radius is 4, so this will be 4 squared. Okay, now if you want to, you can then write an extra stage in here, it doesn't hurt. So we need to know first off what 4 squared is. Now on your calculator you might have a squared button. For example here, this is the squared button on the laptop that I'm using. Okay, if you don't have that, remember it's just itself times itself. So I'll ignore this button and I'll just do it longhand. So 4 times 4, you should know, is 16. Okay, so this is 3.1 multiplied by 16. Okay, so now we just do that. So I've got my 16 here, and now multiply that by 3.1, and I get 49.6. So this gives me 49.6. Now the units are centimeters and it's area, so it's always squared. Okay, so the area of this circle is 49.6 centimeters squared. Okay, so let's do another one. So let's say that we have 7 centimeter radius. Again, pi r squared. So this will be 3.1 multiplied by the radius squared. So that's 7 squared. This little 2 just means squared. So that gives us 3.1 multiplied by, now you should know that 7 sevens are 49. Then we can go to our calculator. Clear. So we have 3.1 multiplied by 49 gives us 151.9. So we get 151.9 centimeters squared. Units are very important in the exam. Now sometimes, like with circumference, they don't give you necessarily what you want. What they'll do is they'll say, okay, well this is the diameter of the circle, and the circle has a diameter of 18 centimeters. So we don't let this phase us. It's nothing to worry about. So they want to know the area of the circle. So pi r squared. So this is 3.1 multiplied. Now the diameter is 18. We only want the radius. So that's half of the diameter. So half of 18 is 9. And then don't forget that's squared. So we have 3.1 multiplied by 9 nines are 81. So that gives us, so we go back to our calculator. So we have 3.1 multiplied by 81, and that gives us 251.1. So we have 251.1 centimeters squared. Okay, is it starting to look a bit more simple for you? So let's say that we have a pond, a fish pond in the garden, and the pond is 4.2 meters wide. Okay, and we need to know what the area of this is so that we can put some sort of sheeting down for the pond. Okay, so we need to know the area of this circle. So we go back, pi r squared, this equals 3.1 multiplied by, now the pond is 4.2 meters wide, so half of that distance radius would be 2.1. That would be 2.1 meters, and that, don't forget, is squared. So we get 3.1 multiplied by, now I don't know what 2.1 is squared, so 2.1 multiplied by 2.1, because that's all 2.1 squared is, so we get 4.41. So we get 4.41. Okay, so now it's just pi multiplied by 4.41. So we have 4.41, and we're now going to multiply that by 3.1, which is pi, and this gives us an answer of 13.671. So we get an answer of 13.671 meters squared. Okay, remember, units are all important. Okay, so if you were buying a sheet for this, you would buy, say, a 14 meter squared sheet, so that you'd have a little bit too much. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's just step by step. If you work at the pace that I'm working at, then you'll be fine. Okay, so it's just practice, and we'll move on to the next video.